by default.
Yeah.
You have to uncheck.
You have to uncheck it. Actually, a lot of it. Okay, I don't like the new Yahoo thing because it basically really sucks. But it's more. It's basically you agree to use it. You agree to have things sent to you. You know, but they track you off of that too. But it came as a shock that that we would basically ask where the hell you're at. I did tell them I'm in a goddamn press room. I told everybody else that you're basically tracking me in a press room. I didn't have that question come up the next time. The next time, though, they wanted to know, name your friends. I didn't know who the hell they were.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun. I'm sitting there, oh, God. You know how we did it? We did it with the computer, second computer, and we're going down the list of my friends.
Well, because sometimes, first of all, you don't really remember what they look like if you've got very many friends.
Okay.
Sometimes you know, but sometimes you don't. Especially if you look, if they pull your friends' pictures, if they're not in a lot of those pictures, right, or they look similar to somebody else, you may not have ever seen that picture for one thing.
Here's a good one. The only person I actually know that actually has a real picture that I'm a friend of, except for her, is me, because I've got my tuxedo picture from the. I have two. I have my when I'm working my baseball cap and my t-shirt and shorts, and the second one I'm in a tuxedo, and they're both new pictures, folks. So it means that's me. A lot of the people put pictures up like we're 30 years ago, and they say, "Well, who the heck is?" Oh God, that's James Cameron. You know, James Cameron's a little bit heavy now, but he's got this really...
Well, sometimes they put those pictures up because then people that don't know them, right? And I've seen a lot of celebrities that go, oh yeah, and I'm the one, because other people try and get in on their friend thing. It's like, yeah, it's me when I was such and such. So you know that it's, for example, James Cameron when he was 5 years old, right?
Yeah, but I know an actress, basically, I can't tell her name is, but she's known what her brother told me she wanted me to go dancing with again.
What?
Her birthday was yesterday. She's.
What did she say?
Yeah, well, we met him at a Comic-Con. Big, muscular, healthy guy, and she's 64, folks. She got a picture from when she was 17 years old up there. Yeah, and you sat there. That's not the one that been asked to go dancing with. That's the one I went dancing with. You know, and 17, 64, 47 years difference, and she's got a 17-year-old picture up, and you say, you're trying to remember your money. Who the hell is that? And she's also had 3 or 4 name changes since then too. Her Facebook thing is under her her last married name. So you sit there and figure out. You look at the picture. Actually, I only missed one. We had one. So luckily, here's a good one. You know what? First picture came up.
What?
Hers.
It's a good thing.
And then the next picture that came up, Cinegear. And then the next picture that came up.
You didn't know.
They didn't know.
Nobody clue.
And then I did find you got to identify 5. The 5th one was a real simple one.
You could only you had to identify 3 out of 5 people.
Yeah, and basically they give you can only make so many mistakes. I made 1. If you make 3 errors, basically you get tunneled out. I did have to change my security code number, my security thing, because they wouldn't recognize the one I quit. Oh, here's another fun one. Go check your email, folks. All these people have changed their, you got to have new passwords on almost every site. They changed the password structure.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun part, because, sometimes you forget your password and you're not supposed to write it down anywhere. So you went to one that had changed from, here's a period in time when you made the password, here's where they made the change, right? But you never changed yours. So here you're asking about, and you're looking at the format, right? Like if you're doing a new one, what your password's supposed to be, and you're like, is that the format? I probably would have done this, right? And nothing's going through.
No, nothing. We just sat there, could not figure out. Then it goes, sends it to your, it said, well, we'll send you a password change to the email. We got Apple email you no longer use because they don't use that password. They don't use that email anymore, so you figure out, why isn't it coming to my email?
And you're looking at all your emails. Oh, did I say emails, plural? Like, who would have more than one email?
We do.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of people that have more than one email, and I was actually thinking of getting another one. There are people that have emails for Well, there's some that, like all those clubs that they belong to, they do all the emails there.
Yep.
Right?
And then there's your business email. Then there's your personal email. See, my name is not OldCam.
It's not? I thought that was your name.
And it is really not WH. It's basically a name that's about like this, and I have an email that's about like that. My family name is like this. Everything else is smaller. But
that goes back to those early days of AOL when all the names got taken up really fast. Well, that's where you'd have a name like, let's say, Not a Spring Chick 5678 or something.
Yeah, we've had.
Or 135.
You can tell how long ago we got these things because there are lots of old cams out there now. We have.
Are there?
Yeah. There's lots of Not a Spring Chicks and there's lots of Monty Bubbles. What happens is they all assume that people will feed off of those, and then they can basically catch things that are meant for you and things like that. But I mean, we've been actually acing out a lot that we had because we just a nuisance. Because but you, unless you keep, I actually have a notebook about that thick of old stuff that no longer is usable. You can't get into the older emails because you can't remember what security questions you answered. So you lose those accounts. You're like, God, what did I say 10 years ago on the original version? Okay.
And then sometimes your backup email was an email. Say you did it 5 years ago. That was an email account you used to use more often. And you no longer use that email.
Oh, I know. And you forget. Okay, like we have. She's got her professional name. We've got emails with L's in them and LE's in them and the real and and you forget.
We'll just get them certified.
I know, but we also
they do have certification on some of them.
The same thing with Twitter things. We have Twitter accounts for each one of our names, and it's just because we branded. Okay, I branded OldCam. She branded the JC, Not a Spring Chick, and the Bikinis are. And now she's doing the NJC, with the NBC, but not the network, of course. But those are all branded, so we've got all of these things on Twitter, and we're moving them over onto Facebook. So, but try to keep track of what is with which. You sit there, you can't, because you don't keep track. You can't use your computer because they read your computer. You can't put them in your okay. I have her address book on my computer because the only way to get some of the stuff there was to shift the whole mess at one time. Because you just can't pick and choose. You go, because what it does is, my smartphone is basically it is our backup because we have the same phone. They're business phones. If one of them has a problem, it means you can go immediately to the other and basically get the information you need. So, but it's the way it is. And everything, the more your smart device. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. This is a coffee pot. This is connected now to the internet. I have behind us. There's a toaster, a cappuccino maker, and a blender. Connected, they can be connected to the internet. To the right is an oven and a microwave connected to the internet. We can have
a refrigerator.
The refrigerator can be connected to the internet. Your clocks can be connected to the internet. We have right behind the camera people is an alarm system connected. That is connected, and your power system can be connected to the internet. If the power company so puts it, they can put a device to the monitor.
They also have it so you can and you've seen this where you can add these devices in your home so you can remotely turn switches on, turn them off if you're not there. And that sounds really cool, but here's what also happens is they can monitor your usage.
Yeah, and then they can basically, she's having a problem right now with Time Warner because Time Warner is monitoring the usage of her internet, which is supposed to be unlimited, and she's finding out there is no such thing as unlimited, even though you're paying for it.
And I've been having problems with them for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've been out of town for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, but she's back, and we put it this way, we've got, I don't know, probably must have 24 things that connect to the internet in this place.
Well, I'll give you an example. I mean, for example, there's only 2 people that live in here, right? There's a desktop, 2 laptops, several smartphones, a tablet, right? Which may sound like a lot, but it's really not that much. It's only for 2 people. What happens for a family of 5 with 3 teenage kids?
Yeah.
Right? You probably have 5 smartphones.
And you don't understand
you
why.
probably have 5, laptops.
But you basically get a, it's not that you're getting, they won't give you a bigger bill, they'll just slow you down and then send your thing well for $110 a month. You can get these faster speeds.
And when I say slow down, I'm able to sometimes get on the internet to get into my email.
Yeah.
But for me to send the email, I have to reconnect it a couple times. I've been having difficulty sending pictures that are like 4 megabytes in size, and I've been having trouble attaching them, sending them. I mean, all of those things.
Well, I mean, I'm having to do all of that stuff because of the fact that I don't have a problem with the slowdown on my side because I only have 2 connected devices in my place, the computer and the cell phone. Mm-hmm. And I never used a cell phone ever, so, but it is a problem. Privacy is a god-awful problem. And the more people to find out that that they're monitoring, okay, like I said, okay, my cell phone though is designed, she basically did hook it up so it basically gets her calendar now. Mm-hmm. So guess what happens every time the thing updates with the calendar? Mm-hmm. It tells everybody where the hell I'm at.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, she forgot that. So
we can take my calendar off of there.
I do go into places that she doesn't go into either, so.
We can take my calendar off.
No, she put it there because she wants me to know what's going on.
Well, because that way you can just log into it.
I never log into it. It just comes on. It's right there and the thing says, 8 o'clock going out to have dinner with Clint Eastwood and Leonardo DiCaprio. In your only dreams. That's it.
They are in town.
I know they're in town. Pushing daylights out of the thing.
Oh, J. Edgar. Oh, the other part about the connected devices, we've talked about this when you could connect the home server. Oh, actually, it started with the picture frames, which you could connect to the internet, which are not quite as popular as they used to be. People started seeing the problems with games where they were hacked. But it's not just the games for that company. It's not just, it's any of these interconnected devices. Internet-connected devices are gateways where people can access into your.
And they say here's the smart-ass remark. Well, it's only as good as the firewalls you have established, and we're not responsible if you don't have. Well, try playing a PS3 with a firewall established, folks, because it causes a problem.
That's one of the reasons consoles are so popular for gaming. And even though on your PC you can do games and you can put it in gaming mode, it's never quite the same because you might get a software update when in the middle of you playing the game and there goes your game.
That's right. And basically, all of the Sony discs come with BD Live. Mm-hmm. So you.
Bless you. And if you're sitting there thinking, I'm not connected to the internet because you're thinking, oh, you're hardwired, there's a lot of these devices that have Bluetooth or wireless functions.
The instant basically all of my toys have Bluetooth in them. So basically the instant the Bluetooth is always on, which means you're always connected, and you're always connected around your firewall. Mm-hmm. So the more connected you become, the more or less security you have in what you're doing. Most people, we try to round this up, that when you walk into a room, like she walks into a room with 2 smartphones, a computer, and the tablet. And as we did find out, here's one for all of you great people out there. Did you know that if you have a USB device plugged into your computer, that like nowadays they have these tiny little things that you stick into the USB drive for your mouse and other devices, that if you leave that thing stuck inside, you can turn your computer back on you.
Yeah.
Which means they monitor you then when the computer is, I turn that thing off, and then you figure out, God, the thing is all hot. Because it's been turned back on by a company.
And if you think, well, I'll just get a broadband card and then I can work around that. I have a broadband card too. And what happens with the broadband card and the other one is
they conflict.
Yep.
They shouldn't conflict.
So I don't get on either.
So you're not getting on either. So privacy is a huge problem, and you're basically, it's why the more people find out about it, including the younger people are really unhappy about, I mean, it's really bad, you know, when somebody's monitoring a thing, you find out, hey, did you know that Joe is going out with Carly? Wasn't he going out with Janice? Isn't Janice his girlfriend? Then why does it say, you know, that he's over at,
yeah, think about it like this. It says that you checked in, and you happen to check in at the same place where there's some other people, and you have a jealous spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, they checked into the same place as the other person. It doesn't mean they're together.
I know. Buildings are large, folks. You can have a 6,000 rooms in a place. It does not mean that they're anywhere near it, but as far
although if they keep going to the same places, and there could be an indication.
But what if they're at a convention, they're going to the same places, because that's what's being done at the convention, but still, you do not have to eat. We went to a convention. I know one of the people that she saw about 3 or 4 times. I never saw him once. And we're in the same, not only in the same building, we're in the same, almost, remember, we're virtually in the same room.
Yeah.
And
because sometimes there's a lot of people in the room.
So you don't see them, but that's how that works, just because they're the same. But what happens is the internet tracking makes it look, because you could be here, but the tracking doesn't, it can't narrow it down. You say like, well, on NCIS, well, they're in this block. And well, we've narrowed it down. They're into the, they're in the Empire State Building.
Yeah, they're at the SEMA show with 100,000 other attendees.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, they may not be anywhere near each other.
You can be in the same building on a different floor. It can't track the floors, and it can't track, only in TV and movies can it track the room that you're in. They'll give you like this. This is where you're at. You're at 16 Broad Street. Well, that happens to be Wall Street, folks. You know what's on Wall Street? You know, that great big huge building with many floors, but you're at 16 Broad. But we're at a 16. It's why that even though people have GPS systems in their cell phones, they can only track them to an area. They can't track them to where they're exactly at.
Yeah.
So they say, well, what a signal? Well, no, because if the signal is always moving, you know, you're in trouble. That's the way it works. But because it's privacy, I think we're really getting heavy rainfall now.
Are we starting to get more heavy rainfall?
Ooh,
I know.
I know. So good.
You can sometimes tell by the lighting, because we do have natural lighting that comes in. That's why sometimes the picture looks a little bit different.
We have a great big.
We're not in a studio.
One of the reasons why we use this room is because there is a huge wall over there with windows in it. And you say, well, people see her in a bikini. Yeah, we don't. You know, so. You know, but I guess since we're going to talk more about that. This is also Sweeps Month, November. So until next time, this is Old Gal.
And this is not a spring chicken. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And for more information,
you can go to www.montebubba.net on the net.
And wherever you're watching this, subscribe to us. Follow our daily newscast in 3D. And thank you once again for over 40 million links on the internet.